about a headline or a social network status that was difficult to understand? Or maybe you received an email or an informative message that was unclear and hard to get the point across. Well, communication is the most important factor in a business career. If you have poor communication skills or poor grammar skills, this can be seen as a major downfall to most potential business partners. This is because they're looking for someone that can communicate to a wide variety of people whenever they need to. Poor writing skills are not something that can be fixed without practice. You have to know and recognize the issues and the errors before you can correct them. Bad grammar will set you back further than anything else in life. If you don't know how to propose an email properly, or how to send out a memo, or even text messages, these can hurt you in the job field, because almost every employer is required to be useful with communication, at least verbally and written. I will be discussing 3 main points tonight. The first one will be the confusion with run-on sentences. My second point will be comma splices and the appropriate time to use commas. And then my third will be how to fix both of these to improve your writing skills. First, my point is run-on sentences. And I could bet $1,000,000 that half of y'all that are watching this would agree with me whenever I said that run-on sentences are just really long sentences, which is not true. What makes a run-on sentence is the lack of punctuation in the sentence that doesn't separate the 2 main clauses. Commas can be used to help this, and they also help readers to know when to pause or whenever a series of lists is coming up that you have to use commas for. You can either make 2 complete sentences to fix this, or you can add a semicolon or a coordinating conjunction. There's a couple of different ways, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. My second point is comma splices. Comma splices happen whenever commas are used whenever they shouldn't be, whenever commas are separating things that aren't supposed to be separated. A comma is not strong enough to splice or split 2 independent clauses. So whenever there's a comma and only a comma in between 2 independent clauses, that gives you a comma splice, let alone a run-on sentence. Like I said, commas make it easier for readers to know when to pause, and also whenever there's lists coming up. Okay, for run-on sentences, I have an example here. This says, it was wonderful weather on Monday. The boy flew the kite outside. As you can see, this top one, there's no punctuation in the bottom. Because there are 2 independent clauses, you cannot use only a comma because it's not strong enough to support it. So we're going to use a semicolon to separate them. It was beautiful weather on Monday. Semicolon, the boy flew the kite outside. Now, the only reason that it is appropriate to use the semicolon in this situation is because both of the clauses relate to each other. If we were saying something about a kite and then something about a bike, then we couldn't use a semicolon because the sentences are not relevant to each other. Now we have an example for a comma splice. It says, the sun is high, put on some sunblock. Notice that there's no punctuation. This is a comma splice because it cannot be split by 2 independent clauses. You would have to use a coordinated conjunction. So, as you can see, the sun is high, then we have our comma, and we have our coordinated conjunction, so put on sunblock. This right here will be able to fix any comma splices that you had, and it's just recognizing them and being able to pick out proper conjoining and conjunction words. Rereading assignments will save time in the long end. Taking time to fix your grammar errors, if you do it right the first time, then you won't have to go back and do it again. But run-on sentences and comma splices are not easy, but they are recognizable, and it's not difficult and it's not hard as long as you know what you're looking for. If you practice looking for your commas, if you understand your coordinated conjunctions, fansboy, for, and nevertheless, so, but, and yet. You can remember those, and you can remember your comma splices and when and when not to use them. It can help you be a more successful writer and grammar person. So thank you. Hopefully you learned something from this, and good luck.